Working again on the Ford 2600, just trying to get it wrapped up. If you recall, when we had this thing running, the lift was stuck in the up position. And what I did is I let this thing sit for a week, hoping that it might bleed down, and it did not. So what I did is I put my little hitch on, put a pipe on it, and tried getting on the end of it, you know, give myself some leverage, and with all my weight it still wouldn't go down, so it was still stuck. So what I did is I took this top plate here and I loosened off this bolt, and that bled off the pressure that was on the, I guess, the piston that does the lift, and you can see this nasty fluid that came out. It definitely had some water in it. So I've got it draining in a bucket. But I'm gonna go ahead and just stand on that lift and see if it'll purge any more fluid out. I'll set y'all right there. Pop the bolt out and put fluid everywhere. That was not a good choice. Wow, I gotta clean y'all up. Y'all got hydraulic fluid all over you. That was good, a good shot there. Well, I guess I should have taken that bolt out all the way. All right, I'm gonna go and put this back in, tighten this up, we'll crank it up, and we'll see what the lift does. If it goes up and doesn't go down again, we'll cut it off and we'll try to purge it again. Now, I'm not gonna put pressure on it this time, but you can see it's bleeding off, you know, the fluid, and it looks much better. Looks like cleaner fluid. Not really sure what our next move will be. I think I want to go ahead and purge this one more time. I'm sure it's going to do the same thing, but at least we're getting this nasty fluid out. We're catching it in a bucket here, and we may have to tear into this thing. You know, it's kind of a similar issue to what we had with the Hinomoto. Shouldn't have loosened it off the rest of the way. I think I'd learned my lesson here. Yeah, didn't get me too bad. I should just let it bleed off slowly. Well, let me clean up my mess. Well, things have gotten serious. I don't know how accurate this manual is, because we've got a 2600 here, a 1980 or 81 2600, and of course this is up to 75. But it looks similar. I went and looked at my 2000, and it's similar hydraulic setup, so we're gonna make some assumptions here that may be incorrect, but I think what we may have here, and like I said, we're making some assumptions. We gotta go way back here. But I think we have an issue, if it has one, with the unload valve. It could be the control valve, or it could be the linkage to the control valve. But I feel like, I mean, to me that looks like a direct, well, so you have in the lift cylinder, this is the lift cylinder housing, which is going to be under that top plate. You have this unload valve, and then you have your control valve. Now, I think there's a direct link between the control valve and, there may not be, maybe like a springed link, but you know, if you look at the control valve, you know, it looks like a direct link. So I'm not real sure there. There's another look. Here's our, and this is, like I said, this is a 3000. Now if you look at a 2000, it doesn't show to have an unload valve. So here's a 2000. There's no unload valve. So I don't really know which one this is. You know, I don't know if this could have a similar hydraulic system to a 3000 or if it's similar to a 2000. But we either have an issue, I think, with the control valve if it doesn't have an unload valve, or the unload valve if it has one. So that's where we're gonna go, I guess, to try to start our troubleshooting. So I think we're gonna continue on. I got the seat off and I'm bleeding the pressure off. I started it up one last time just to make sure before I go through this that it's leaking still, and it's still stuck going up, and it is. So we're gonna pull the lift arms off, and then the I guess we'll just undo the top link there. Give you a quick tip on these pins and any kind of pins that haven't been removed in a while. What I do, well, first of all, don't mess around with a little hammer. Grab you a bigger hammer, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna knock it, you're gonna spray it. I'm just using this stuff, anything really, even motor oil, but you're gonna spray it, then you're gonna start driving it out, and you're gonna, once it starts moving just a little bit, you're gonna spray it again, then you're gonna move it back the other way, spray it, move it back, and each time you go out with it, you'll go a little bit further than you did before and spray it, and then you drive it back in. What you're doing is you're getting that penetrant oil, or whatever oil liquid you're putting in there, you're getting it in here where it's seized up. So you drive it out, you spray it, then you drive it back in. That pushes the pin with the oil in it into here, and you're doing that both ways, and eventually it starts getting loose. Then I take a good pair of channel locks and I wiggle it. I grab on the end of it, wiggle it, and then once you get it, do it one more time, I think. Running out of stuff. See how easy that tapped out? Now, it's hard to do one-handed. Anyway, wiggle it, and then I may have to, there's no room to get my punch in here, so I can, there it goes. arthritis or carpal tunnel or what, but my right hand can't grip like it used to. It starts aching. Well, the other side came out easier than this one. We could have knocked it in one more time. Oh, there we go. All right, we got this one out. This one fought me more than these did. But they're all out, so I'm gonna go and undo. Book says to undo the 12 perimeter bolts, and then these two go all the way through. So these two, and then just a 12 perimeter, and that should get this thing loose. So I went ahead and cracked all of them loose, long 1/2 inch ratchet here, and I'm going to go through now with my little 3/8 impact and buzz all these off, and that should get this out. I'm not sure if I can lift this thing by myself, and we may not even have to really get it off the tractor. If we can just get it turned over, you know, tilted up on its side or something, we may be able to do what we need to do. I don't know, so I have no idea how much this thing weighs. Figure out, bring you all along here. This auto mode on this thing works really good. This is love this thing. It's the Ryobi 3/8 brushless. It's that HP whatever series that they have. Good stuff. Yeah, they did good on this thing. If you put it in manual mode, it's fast. Like I said, I've got it in auto. See how fast it is. Alright, and they say just the perimeter ones. Now, we've got to keep track of how, let's see, all these on the right side here, or well, left side, these seem to be all the same length. That one has a washer, goes with this, holds that wire harness. These, they start getting longer. That seems to make sense. They stick out about the same, so you can always kind of drop them in and see how much they stick out. So if you look around here as they're all sitting in there, they're all sitting out about 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch. So, you know, you can drop them in and kind of see where they're supposed to go. All right. And our 2 little pins here. That should be it. I have to get a pry bar. We'll see if this thing will lift up. So we're going by the manual, so I would think that it would be correct. Let me get under here. Not pinch our wires. Two pry bars for the win. There's the gasket. Now I'm hoping, like I said, I've got a kit for my 2000. I'm hoping it's the same kit. I looked at it. This top plate looks identical. Top cover, whatever we're gonna call it, looks identical. So I think that's the same. It's got some O-rings under there, so those O-rings are probably the same. There we go. We may have to use pry bars to get this thing set. I don't really know. We might could put something across the fenders here. Let me just see how heavy it is. Problem is, it's awkward. We're in an awkward position here. Can't get to it very well. Can't. You're supposed to grab it. Bottom fell back in, or the front. See that right there? There we go. Now, questions? Okay. I'm gonna leave it just like that for the moment. I know I'm going to have to end up moving it because I'll have to scrape the gasket, but right now I'm going to leave it like that because I may have to get some help. You know, you need someone like on the front and the back. I can lift it straight up, but I can't go anywhere with it. That's the problem. And leaning over it, I don't think I can lean over and get it. But this gets us where we can see what's going on. And to be honest, it looks to be in pretty good shape, and the linkage itself is still attached. Now this is going to be our control valve, and I think on the other side of this plate will be our unloader valve. I think we're going to take this off and see what we see in here, and I bet the unloader valve is stuck. Let's see if we can get this thing. Pretty sure, if I remember that diagram, we'll have to get the book back out, but this cover goes over the unloader valve. And it looks pretty nasty in there. And let's just see what we've got here. And grab it with this. May not be able to. Where'd our needle nose go? I think I remember like a pin or anything in there. Snap ring. Moved in. Yeah, it is. That actually there is, let's see, is it the control valve? Oh, it is. And it's stuck. Okay. Right? Let me go move. It's stuck. Alright, that is moving. Which should engage the load control valve. And it is stuck. It is not, let's see, it should get pushed back. Let's see, that's down. That's all the way down. And then that would be all the way up. So it looks like it's stuck in the down position, right? That's our draft position, lift or draft, I think. Okay, so this is definitely sticky because it should be moving. It should be moving, and it's not. Where's my big screwdriver? If y'all could keep track of where my tools are, that would be helpful. Because I lose tools. I set them down. And y'all probably see me set them down, but I'm not getting any help here on where they are. It's the green, long-handled screwdriver. Y'all probably seen it. Probably saw me set it down. Oh, it fell down. That's why I couldn't find it. Now, it's very possible I saw it fall. Let's wipe it off, make sure it's clean. I'm just going to get in here. Okay, that internally is springing. Okay, I'm just trying to see how this stuff works. So, it springs. I can make it, maybe hydraulic pressure springs it out, but I can make it move. That's it, moving. This, however, I don't know if that's just the end of it. It looks like the same path of it. This cover should come off. There's a gasket here. And I'm hoping my kit covers this. That gasket tore. Shoot. Well, if it doesn't, we're gonna be, probably should have went and got it to look at it. Oh, now though we can grab onto that. Oh, just popped back. Huh. It wasn't doing that. So maybe, could that have been what it was? And this thing's further than it was. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely different than it was. Now that would be, so if it pushed down on that, that would be, let me move this, that would be in the down position. Yes, that's down. That's all the way down. It was not down. That was stuck. Pretty sure we fixed the issue, but I'm gonna go look at the book. Like I said, I'm gonna go get my gasket set, and we're gonna see what the book says. Went and got my kit, or my gasket set. And it just says Ford 65 up. It doesn't tell me. I can probably look it up, but I mean, this has got everything in it to kind of rebuild this. We're not doing a full rebuild here. There's no gasket here. It's not in this kit, but I'll take this plate, go inside, I'll make a gasket with it. Wipe this end of it down. It'll take some time, clean up this old gasket material, and then I'll bolt this thing back on. And then clean up all this, move this thing, clean up all that, and we'll go back together with it. And these gaskets are stuck. I used the drill with the wire brush for that one, and then cleaned it off afterwards, so it's ready to go. It's looking all clean. Oh, but this one's gonna be a lot of scraping, and trying to avoid getting anything down in there. So I'm not gonna use the drill here. all this is in place. Now we just need to test it out. Like, we just got it down tight. I didn't even replace the O-rings on that portion of it yet. We still need to do that. Before I get more of it together, I want to see if it works. Shoot. Let me clear off my workbench. Good enough. I just needed to hook the battery up. Neutral safety switch doesn't work. That's dangerous. I'm gonna have to hook that up. Yeah. Did not realize that. It's hooked up. Guess I should have tested it out prior. I must have bumped the shifter when I was getting that stuff in. Oh, look, they stopped. I don't know which is which. I think the draft control. I think they had it all the way in that position. That's probably lift. But like you put it all the way up there, it goes all the way up. It's definitely working now. A week later, paused on it. I was running out of time, so I'm going to take some time, put all these links back in. We got this one here and then these two. Then we'll have our lift all back together. Then we're going to have to address our seat situation. So here's what we've got. It looked better than it was. As bad as that looked, what's worse about it, if it'll flip over, is the whole bottom side of it is just gone. So I splurged and spent about $110, I think, on this tractor seat. If I remember, it came from eBay. They're all about the same price, and they're pretty much the same seats, these universal tractor seats. We're gonna put it on, and then we're going to try this thing out. Seat installed. I think we're done. We're actually, I'm not gonna say we're done with the tractor, but we've got it pretty much where it's operable. We've done a full service on it. It needs a little bit of hydraulic fluid in the rear end. It's a little bit low. It's got plenty in it to operate. You know, it's not coming out the little check hole right there, but when I had this all apart, I looked in there and it's got a good bit. It's got enough where we could operate it, and then I'll get some hydraulic fluid next time I'm at Tractor Supply. So I think we're gonna, of course this will be in another video, I think we'll do we'll try to use this thing. We've still got issues with tires. I'm gonna throw some slime in this one, and maybe that will get it to where it'll stay up. I've been waiting to put some in it until I could run this thing around a lot and kind of get that stuff moving around. So we're gonna do that. And then we will, in the next video, you'll see me maybe trying to operate and do some things with this tractor. I've got the hitch on it right now. I may hook up to the trailer or something, we'll see. But we're gonna at least drive it around, see how the seat feels, and make sure the lift works, all that kind of stuff. Let me know what you thought about this project. It's coming to an end. It's little bitty stuff here and there, but yeah, let me know what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more.